Hey there, welcome. Today we are talking about the different types of school social workers. There are elementary social workers and secondary social workers, which can be middle school or high school social workers. And no, we don't all do the same thing. This is a must. Let's start off with elementary school social work. If you are wanting to be a serious rock star on campus, this is the role to take. Y'all get to do all the fun stuff. So I know a lot of people get school counselors and school social workers confused. This role is the reason why. There aren't too many differences between elementary school social workers and elementary school counselors. You both get to meet with students, do fun groups. The only difference is that your school social workers in elementary are going to work a little bit closer with families. That's doing like family engagement activities. Y'all will also be doing a lot of home visits. A lot of the work, let's be honest, when you're working with the little itty bitties, it's really not with the students. We want them to be in class, to be learning. It's all about putting the focus on academics and social work, school social work in general, but here even more so. So a lot of your work will be done within the classroom, but also at the homes. In my district, school social workers in general work a lot with attendance. So we try to make sure we are closing gaps, right? And giving resources to the families that are needing maybe extra help with food or clothing. So all those visits are made to kind of fill those gaps so that students can come to school and learn without any type of external stressors. I do want to let you know that I have never worked in an elementary school specifically. I do have a caseload of elementary students that I provide clinical social work and counseling for, and that's a fun challenge in itself. However, having an elementary school completely as my own has never been the role I've been in. My first internship was in an elementary, and I just had a wonderful experience. However, I'm going to link a video here. If this is the field and the age you're wanting to work with, I want you to go ahead and watch this video next, because the social workers that are on this panel, one, hail from very different areas of school social work, middle school, high school, everything else we're going to talk about in just a bit. But this social workers specifically working in elementaries are featured in this video, and I want you to watch that to get a first-hand perspective. But essentially they are, and I'll say it over again, they are the rock stars of the school social work fields, because little ones will they definitely see you like a superstar. Eating lunch with you basically is the incentive. I think that's why I fell in love with it. But my population of choice is secondary schools, and that includes both middle schools and high schools. We'll talk about the differences in these. For middle school in particular, this is when the role looks very different from a school counselor. And I made a whole video on this that I will also link in the description box down below so that you can watch next. However, school counselors in secondary are no longer doing the counseling, what you and I would consider counseling. They are now creating schedules, really gearing into academic work, preparing students for college, transitioning, things of that nature. While school social workers, if your district and your campus is lucky enough to have one, are going to be focusing more on the counseling perspective. So this is working with depression, anxiety, bullying. There's a lot of mediation that happens in both middle school and high school, but I would say more in middle school. You're also working one-on-one with students, which to me is what I love the most about school social work. You can also provide groups in middle school in particular. High school has a little less groups. So let's dive into high school, because they kind of look similar, but for high school, I think you're doing much more crisis work. So this is working with families that are in need, students that might be the sole provider for their families. So connecting them to resources, having them and showing them how to advocate for themselves and navigate different systems. You're also working very closely with students on mental health issues, right? Bullying, anxiety, depression, coping skills. You are looked more towards as the mental health professional. So we do a lot of assessments, suicide assessments, crisis assessments, needs-based assessments to help understand what might be happening within a student, within their, their thinking, their functioning, and we provide resources and we refer out a lot of times to mental health professionals out in the field. So you have to have a working knowledge of not only like the basic needs we talked about earlier that exist within your community, but also the mental health resources and agencies. Within your middle school, and I would say more high school, you're also really focusing on attendance. So this is dropout prevention. You want to make sure, again, you're closing all the gaps so that students can come to school and really focus on what they need to be doing in school to pass and graduate. That's always the key in school social work is academics, right? But we know that everything else has to fall into place first and foremost. So there is a lot of dropout prevention. You're going to be doing some home visits, not nearly as much as you would for elementary, but there are some. I don't want to lie. I still do home visits myself to deliver different goods and services and things like that. So around the holidays, we are delivering maybe some turkeys, food boxes, gifts, extra things that the family might be needing. And that is, to me, traditional social work that is just warms my heart completely. It is a lot of work, but that's how we provide a holistic wraparound service for the families and the students that we are working with. So that is the difference between schools, social workers, everything from elementary, middle to high school. Let me know if you are a school social worker right now in the comments below. What type are you, or what type of school social worker do you see might fit your personality best? I left out a whole other type of social worker, which is the role that I am in now, and that is a district mental health social worker. I bounce from school to school to school and provide mental health services. And I also am a little more specialized because I bounce between different campuses, middle school, but mainly high school, to provide resources as a case manager and social worker for teenage parents. So you might have a district that has specialized social workers with McKinney-Vento, teenage pregnancy, or maybe even, what's the other type? Oh, special ed, which I've also done. And these types of school social workers can be in a whole nother video. If you're interested in that, please let me know. And until next time, I am wishing you school social work success.